He deserves every penny. He's only 24
Yep.
years of age. He's an absolute stud and a star in this league, widely recognized as the best in the game, if certainly not one of the top two or three. Got hurt last year, missed about 6 games, 7 games, but prior to that, really didn't miss any games. And we know he's an all-world receiver, and every single season he's had over 1,000 yards. Had 1,800 yards the year before last when he played all 17 games, 1,600 yards before then, 1,400 yards as a rookie. This brother is the real deal. And having lost Kirk Cousins and having a rookie at the quarterback spot now, you certainly need his greatness on that football field. The Minnesota Vikings did the wise thing, and Justin Jefferson definitely deserves every penny.
Yeah, so I completely agree with Stephen A. I think it was interesting. There was a little bit of a debate around what they should do with Justin Jefferson, especially if you're a team that a lot of people see the Minnesota Vikings as, I don't want to say rebuilding, but when you draft a quarterback, your first pick, right? Like, you're not in this perfectly solid situation necessarily. And although I'm super high on JJ McCarthy and even Sam Darnold for that matter, it still is question marks, right? You don't know what Sam Darnold's going to look like. Is he actually better than people think he is? And you don't know what JJ McCarthy is going to look like. Again, we can have confidence, we can have our predictions, but the truth is you don't know until you know, right? I mean, that's just the reality. And again, to emphasize, I think they'll both be successful, honestly. But with Justin Jefferson, there was some kind of question marks. If you watch Colin Cowherd from the Herd and stuff, like, he talked about saying like they should trade Justin Jefferson. They already have offensive pieces. Don't pay Justin Jefferson all this money. They can trade him, get a haul for him, and kind of continue to build there. Which it is an interesting idea. It's an incredibly aggressive idea, right? Like, it is, and you got to have some courage to be able to do that. But you would have been able to get a massive haul, and it's like if you really know what you're doing, then I guess you can make that argument to do that. I personally don't think so, right? I'm all for signing Jefferson. It adds stability. I think what a lot of people fail to understand a lot of times is when you have this, especially when you're getting a backup quarterback in Sam Darnold or drafting a new quarterback like Justin Jefferson or JJ McCarthy, signing Justin Jefferson in this situation is just like the ultimate act of stability, of vision, of we know what we're doing. Look at this guy. He's one of the best, if not the best, wide receivers in the NFL right now, and he wants to be here. We're paying him. It signals to the fans. It signals to the other players in the locker room. It signals to everyone around the NFL, like, we're good, we're comfortable, we're confident, we're a competent organization. Like, it just lets everyone know that we are in control. If you heard Justin Jefferson saying, I want out, or Justin Jefferson's very unhappy about the negotiations with Minnesota right now, right? This back and forth, then things start to get a little squirrely, because then you're just like, well, JJ McCarthy better be a good quarterback, or what are they doing with Sam Darnold? Like, things just begin to spiral. And with this now, it's like everything's all good. And again, the perfect example of this, in contrast to this, is the Dallas Cowboys. They have CeeDee Lamb, who they haven't signed yet. Dak Prescott, they're like, what are we doing with Dak Prescott? Micah Parsons, what are we doing with Micah? Is McCarthy going to be the coach next season? Yes or no? There's all these question marks. The fan base doesn't know what's going on. The players around the league, what player would want to sign up to go play for the Dallas Cowboys at this point, because they don't know who's going to be there? Is Micah going to be there? Is CD going to be there? Who's the coach? Like, nobody knows. Is Dak still there? You have no idea. Now you have some clarity. Within Minnesota, there's true clarity, and that matters. That really matters, top to bottom, from the people that are cooking the meals to the people that are actually catching the touchdowns. Like, clarity and vision is so important, and that's why I really stand by that. I think Minnesota is just a very highly run organization, and I think they'll have a lot of success. And I think when you can sign and pay Justin Jefferson like that, it just signals to everyone that you're in a good place, you're moving in the right direction. And also, one of the best things that you get when you also pay the man, right, is you know now that he's going to do what he can to make Sam Darnold successful, to make JJ McCarthy successful because he got his money. And not only are you paying that money for the production, of course, but you're also paying for him to be a leader, for him to work with the quarterbacks, for him to say the right things. If, let's say, JJ McCarthy is having a rough practice or whatever, like, you now that you have Justin Jefferson, you paid him all this money. Like, he is practically, obviously he's not an owner of the team, but he practically is, right? Like, when you're getting paid that amount of money, like, you are a part of the organization as a whole, right? And you represent it. And so when they ask him, like, hey, what's going on there? We heard some whispers that Sam Darnold's having a rough go at it, and same thing with JJ. Like, how do you feel about it? Like, he's going to be able to give a good, positive answer that then again keeps everyone calm, cool, and collected. Where if you have a receiver or just a player in general that doesn't have that same level of confidence in their own organization taking care of them, you might get some just like generic answer or just like, yeah, I don't know, right? Like, it just, things can just kind of spiral. And which again, we see that with the Dallas Cowboys. You see what Mike is saying. Micah hasn't gotten paid yet. And when they ask him, like, what's going on with the Cowboys, he's like, I don't know, man. They better do something. They better make our team better, right? Like, he's not giving the good sound bites. If you paid him all that money, he most likely would be a better soldier within the Cowboys organization, where he would say, hey, Jerry has a vision and I'm really excited. I can't wait for this season. Like, you would give some of those answers. So again, it's just with Jefferson, you're getting the clarity, you're getting the leadership, and of course you're getting the production on the field, right? Which arguably matters more than anything. But to me, I try to look at everything from all different sides of the coin with regards to that. And I just think at this point in the NFL, we know the better wide receivers you have, a better place you're going to be in, right? No matter how good you are at the O-line or running back or whatever it is, if your wide receivers can't get open, if they can't actually hold on to the ball, it just makes it very difficult. When you have a wide receiver like a Justin Jefferson, the way I look at it is your margin of error just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And we saw this also with the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Their margin of error kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller because of their wide receivers, because of their offense as a whole. And because of it, they struggled. Granted, they ended up winning, but that is with Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and the number one defense in the NFL. Not everyone has that luxury. So locking down Justin Jefferson to this deal, I think, is great. I think the contract is fair. It's obviously record and it's insane, but now this only sets the bar for someone like a CD Lamb and Dallas Cowboys, and it's going to be pretty interesting for me to see how that all unfolds now. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about this signing? Do you think it's too much money? Do you think it's what the Vikings should have done? Do you think they should have done what Colin Cowherd said about maybe getting rid of him and getting a haul? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.